There's a free one-night-only screening of the documentary Atomic Echoes tonight at the Beverly Theater, which focuses on the lasting impact of the atomic bombs dropped on Japan during World War II.
Karen Tanabe, co-producer of the film, and she's also joined by Scott Wade from the National Atomic Testing Museum. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
What an incredible collaboration. It makes a lot of sense, obviously. But tell us a little bit more, Karen, first of all, about the film itself, about the documentary.
So the film really highlights the American atomic veterans who responded to World War II. Nagasaki, Hiroshima, it was about 67,000 American atomic veterans. And my father was born in Japan. My family was very involved in the Hiroshima University rebuilding, but I didn't know about this legacy in Nevada. So working with Scott and the museum has been amazing, just of how involved Nevada was in atomic testing.
Yeah, you know, what inspired you to create this film, and really why do you feel this was relevant to tell now?
So honestly, it was Oppenheimer. Did you guys see Oppenheimer?
Yeah, I heard about the movie.
Yeah.
So it shows like how the bomb was made, but it never showed the aftermath of the atomic bomb. It's like the mushroom cloud. You always see the mushroom cloud and you don't see what happened afterwards.
Right.
And maybe in Nevada you see the desert, the mushroom cloud over the desert, and you don't see the people who are there. So we were like, we need to reframe the way we educate Americans about the aftermath, about what happens when the mushroom cloud is gone.
Obviously, in the aftermath is the Japanese, am I saying this right? Hibakusha?
Hibakusha.
Hibakusha, thank you.
Yeah, it was very close.
Yeah, placing those, and obviously the American veterans in the same film, you know, the atomic veterans. Obviously, that was an important aspect to club those two together.
Yeah, because America and Japan today are such close allies, you know, and it's seeing these experiences that happened to the Japanese survivors, to the American veterans, and I'm sure in Nevada, to the testing veterans as well. So it's really an honor to show the film here.
Yeah. And Scott, what's the impact been like with this partnership between Victoria, Karen, and of course the Beverly Theater?
It's been spectacular. When I was first introduced to Karen and to her co-producer, Victoria Kelly, and saw the movie, it brought to life so many things that I'd read about, images I'd seen, but seeing and learning the stories that went behind them. Phenomenal. It gives you that emotional connection, and that's where you really begin to appreciate what went on, not just with the struggles of the Japanese people after use of the atomic bomb, but again, as Karen said, the Americans that responded there. And so just starting that kind of relationship and interaction with Karen was the beginning of I think it will probably be a long collaboration between them. And then the Beverly Theater, what a wonderful facility. Beverly Rogers and her foundation has graciously invited us to come down and screen the film tonight.
For free.
Which for free, definitely. So obviously Las Vegas has played a big part in atomic history, as you kind of alluded to. Was that one of the considerations and one of the reasons why the screening was decided to be, you know, placed here at the Beverly Theater?
Yeah, definitely. We reached out to Congresswoman Dina Titus, and she's working on the PRESUME Act, which is getting veterans who are involved in testing, presuming that their health issues come from being exposed to radiation, and she's working really hard on that. So we honestly just called her up and we were like, we would love to work with you. We would love to do something in Las Vegas, and just sort of helping people understand that this is still relevant today.
Well, from this screening, what are you really hoping that audiences take away from this?
Personally, I think people need to understand that never again really means never again. And we use these words very casually, these nuclear warfare, let's nuke them, and it is so different than other types of warfare, and it affected so many Americans. And if it ever happened again, it could affect millions more.
Yeah, and there's just so many things that we lose sight of. In all the years since the use of the atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, even as the cessation of testing, you know, here coming up in a week will be the 75th anniversary of the first test that was done out in the Nevada test site. We just lose track of the incredible power of nuclear weapons. And that's one of those things that through museums, through important documentaries, through just your own research, things that you just show that you just want to learn more about, you get that connection through, and again, as Karen says, hopefully as society drives us to understand that these are things we don't ever want to use again.
Yeah.
Right.
At the end of the story, or the center of the story, is that human impact and that human.
Yeah.
What was some of the most touching things for you? Was it getting people together from different cultures? What sort of stories really enthused you or touched you when you were making this movie?
Yeah, well, I cry about like 4 times in the movie, so you see my cry face a lot. But my father was born in Japan. I didn't know about the American atomic veterans growing up. And there's a veteran in our film who still suffers from PTSD today, and he's 98 years old. And to watch that man cry and to think about how much he's lived with really affected me. And I hope viewers will feel the same way.
Definitely.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Atomic Echoes screens tonight at the Beverly Theater with a post-screening discussion.
For more information and to get your tickets, just head to atomicmuseum.vegas.